Everyone found an interesting article at the Denver Post. Kind of says here, Kyrie Irving's flat Earth comments reveal the danger of science denial. Ooh, dangerous. So now they're going to be labeling flat earthers as dangerous, kind of aligns with the climate change deniers. I think this is going to be the term that they're going to start really using here in the next phase of coming against all of these type investigations. Science denial. You've heard Bill Nye, you've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson. A lot of these people are using the word science denial as being dangerous, and we have to get a grip on it. So let's get into the article here. NBA star Kyrie Irving recently claimed that the Earth is flat. People might comfort themselves by concluding that Irving is crazy or stupid. These conclusions obscure the real problems underlining Irving's flat Earth revelations. Humans are susceptible to this type of reasoning, and the current social climate enables those susceptibilities. To begin, let's dispense with the notion that Irving believes in a flat earth because he is unable to think clearly. Irving has quickly reached the upper echelon of his profession. Sure, basketball relies on athletic ability more than most professions, but it still relies on discipline, quick thinking, and teamwork. Besides characterizing Irving as insane or unintelligent is consistent with well-known tendency, particularly among Westerners, to attribute behavior to dispositional causes rather than situational ones. It is psychologically easy to assume that Irving believes the earth is flat because he has a serious cognitive impairment. It takes more time to consider the situational factors that might have led Irving to this seemingly bizarre belief. How does a sane person believe the earth is flat? To begin, this person is convinced by others that the earth is flat. Humans, characteristically, dislike being wrong, so subsequent challenges to this belief are interpreted in a conformatorial manner. Individuals can address evidence of a round earth with ad hoc hypotheses that are easily obtained from other flat earthers. The curve of the horizon is caused by undulations in the flat earth. Circumnavigation is just traveling in a circle. Each of these counterarguments further embeds the individual in the flat earth view. Finally, if the evidence becomes too condemning, one can summon a conspiracy theory that is impossible to debunk. Photographs from space are part of NASA's conspiracy. NASA maintains this conspiracy using money siphoned from the space budget to hide the fake moon landing. These arguments seem crazy to those who believe the Earth is a globe, but people routinely fall victim to fundamentally similar thinking in other scientific domains. The evidence for man-made climate change can be attributed to the natural temperature cycles. Science's inability to detect the vaccination autism link are due to this stability in the effect. The scientific evidence is being distorted by Greenpeace and Big Pharma anyway. Irving's belief in a flat earth is just another pseudo-scientific development in a society that encourages this type of thinking. People and politicians frequently undermine science and science journalism by arguing that these groups are plagued with self-interest and deception. By doing so, the psychological discomfort that might accompany being wrong can be wiped away. One only has to buy into a conspiracy that explains contradictory evidence and then communicate with like-minded people or news sources. United States residents might think the idea of flat Earth is so absurd that it could never become a serious political concern. They shouldn't. Science educators fight this type of battle daily. The scientific evidence is that the Earth is billions of years old is nearly as convincing as the evidence that the Earth is round. Interesting. The United States has a vice president and several other politicians who nevertheless believe the young Earth or unwilling to contradict the idea publicly. Additionally, if the flat earth theory gains traction, its proponents could exert their influence upon the same tactics that have been developed by preceding forms of pseudoscience. Schools should teach the flat earth theory because not doing so is unfair. Students with religious concerns should be exempted from round earth teachings. Scientists who argue otherwise hate religion. If the United States does not change its anti-science ways, its residents might see the day where people challenge the round earth in a similar way. Well, we already are, big time. Oh, and if you think that this could not happen because the round earth is a scientific fact, you're wrong. One can argue that the round earth is a theory. And isn't a scientific theory just a theory? Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, like I said, that was from the Denver Post. And again, they're really trying to scare the public getting into science denial, or sorry, yeah, science denial. And of course, they're going to be linking two big topics that actually I'm going to be addressing in Scientism Exposed 2 coming out in November. So get ready for that. If you haven't seen Scientism Exposed, go to my channel or type in Scientism Exposed and watch the documentary. Scientism Exposed 2 will be out this November, but I will be touching on these other areas where the warning bells are sounding. Ooh, science denial. What are we going to do? Those two issues that they mentioned in the article, they got into climate change and they got into the autism vaccines link. Those two things I will be touching on because I think um, there's a greater deception going on with all of this. Sometimes people will focus just on the shape of the earth, or they'll focus on, all these specifics. And really, for me, it's about really exposing scientism for what it is. And it is, just like I said here at the end, a theory. One could argue that the round earth is a theory. It is a theory. It is not scientifically proven. It is not scientifically verifiable in any which way. There's contests that are just coming out right now to basically say if you can do an experiment that's verifiable, by two people to prove the either motion of the Earth or measured curvature of the earth, there's going to be big prize money. And we're going to see how many people come forward with that. And I'm going to have to go on a limb here and say zero, because that's the fact. You start looking it up and find out conclusively that there are no experiments anywhere that have conclusively proven the movement of the earth or like I said, the curvature of the Earth as far as the 8 inches, in inches per mile squared. When you get into these calculations, I'm sorry, but when it comes to empirical science, and that's what we're about here, is about real science. So while they want to label, science deniers, it maybe should be scientism deniers because that's exactly what we are. We're scientism deniers. We love science. Science is great. True science, look it up, find out. But scientism, on the other hand, that's what we're going to deny. That's what we're going to go against, and it's building traction. And an article like this just goes to prove that they have nothing other than fear, intimidation, and going into really calling us crazy or stupid. Even this article starts off by saying, hey, this is your first reaction. You might be going to just say, crazy or stupid. But what's interesting is they say people might comfort themselves. So next time when you get called crazy or stupid, understand that this is a way, it's a coping mechanism for people to deal with it. And this is the number one way that they go because it helps them to comfort themselves by placing it all on the stupid, crazy people. People that want to go further into this, these are the ones that want to go deeper, and the reactions will be different from then on. But really, this is something that is major. It can't be stopped. It's blowing up. People are going to have to address it, whether it comes to everything we've been taught, when it comes down to our cosmology, everything we've been taught as far as the solar system and the stars and all these sort of things, which I'm going to expose in Scientism Exposed 2. A lot deeper. Follow me on the journey. And we are going to get into climate change and the whole vaccines, autism link, because there definitely is. You had Robert De Niro just come out recently talking about definitely he thinks his son was damaged through vaccinations. Hopefully this is going to bring up more discussion around these type of topics, but really we're dealing with an article lumping all this together. So understand that if you're researching, vaccines and autism link, or you're looking into the lies of the whole climate change, or used to be global warming. Notice how they never is called global warming anymore. It's always climate change because global warming was a hoax, and it was, the whole what was it, climate gate or whatever it was, where they exposed, fudging all the numbers trying to make it hotter. So they changed it to climate change because that's the one thing. Sure, the climate changes. We all agree on that. What we don't agree is that man is creating these, climate changes. So, anyways, when you start following the money, when you start following the agendas, you see that all this stuff is, just lies and lies and lies. What I think they're going to do with the whole flat earth thing is they're really going to try to ridicule it, saying, hey, if you believe in any conspiracy, you must be a flat earther. And I think some people are going to reject that and they're going to get really upset because they don't want to be linked as a flat earther. But really, you need to stop looking, you need to stop listening to these people. You need to start using your mind, looking into them, because something like this, when they're coming out with it and saying these comments are revealing the danger of science denial, right there. Kyrie Irving's flat earth comments reveal the danger of science denial. Not sure what danger they're talking about, but they're using terms like that. So they always start talking, science denial terrorists. We might be in a bit of trouble at that point because they'll be labeling us definitely, major caution with the public. But as it stands right now, you need to research these things, look into them. You're going to see more and more stuff coming out and people writing articles just like this. They're going to be warning people it's dangerous. You can't do this. Society is going to implode. And again, like I said, people are going to call you crazy and stupid because that's the first way they do to comfort themselves. So really, it's kind of a selfish act. So don't even take it too personally because really they're just having a hard time dealing with it. But the people that really want to go deeper into it understand there's something bigger going on. There is a psychological warfare that has happened. There's a major deception that's gone on. People are waking up. People are doing the research. Get ready. 2017 is going to be a huge year. We got the Flat Earth International Conference happening in Raleigh, North Carolina, November 9th and 10th. We've got some major sports stars. We got different people. And really, all they're doing is they're sitting and they're going to these videos. They're starting to look. They're starting to ask the questions. And yet, the scientism community are warning danger, danger. But really, there's no danger. Use your mind, look into it, expose the world's lies, celebrate truth. Take care. Professions, but it still relies on discipline, quick thinking, and teamwork. Besides characterizing Irving as insane or unintelligent is consistent with well-known tendency, particularly among Westerners, to attribute behavior to dispositional causes rather than situational ones. It is psychologically easy to assume that Irving believes the earth is flat because he has a serious cognitive impairment. It takes more time to consider the situational factors that might have led to this phase of coming against all of these type investigations. Science denial. You've heard Bill Nye, you've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson. A lot of these people are using the word science denial as being dangerous, and we have to get a grip on it. So let's get into the article here. NBA star Kyrie Irving recently claimed that the Earth is flat. People led Irving to this seemingly bizarre belief. How does a sane person believe the Earth is flat? To begin, this person is convinced by others that the Earth is flat. Humans, characteristically, dislike being wrong, so subsequent challenges to this belief are interpreted in a conformatorial manner. Individuals can address evidence of a round Earth with ad hoc hypotheses that are easily obtained. People might comfort themselves by concluding that Irving is crazy or stupid. These conclusions obscure the real problems underlining Irving's flat Earth revelations. Humans are susceptible to this type of reasoning, and the current social climate enables those susceptibilities. To begin, let's dispense with the notion that Irving believes in a flat Earth because he is unable to think clearly. Irving has quickly reached the upper echelon of his profession. Sure, basketball relies on athletic ability more than most. Hey everyone, found an interesting article at the Denver Post. It says here, Kyrie Irving's flat Earth comments reveal the danger of science denial. Ooh, dangerous. So now they're going to be labeling flat earthers as dangerous, kind of aligns with the climate change deniers. I think this is going to be the term that they're going to start really using here in the next